I sat on the floor for about 2 hours, just holding a hand. You know, thinking that I was going to die that night.
Football great and father of two, Matt Cooper, is recalling the lowest moment of his life.
You know, and I was just sitting there thinking, you know, how can I do this to my two girls?
The night he took an overdose of prescription drugs.
Could you imagine if she woke up that next morning and she sees me laying on her floor, you know, dead?
From the outside looking in, Matt Cooper has it all. A beautiful wife, 2 healthy girls, a luxurious home and a place in Australian sporting folklore. But until recently, Matt had a dark secret. A secret which almost cost him everything. You see, Matt, NRL legend,
he's away, Cooper!
Reality TV star and devoted dad, is an addict. A secret he kept from everyone.
He gets a kick in off the outside edge and Cooper!
Like many professional athletes, Matt used prescription drugs to numb the pain of his injuries. But his real problems with painkillers began after he retired and followed a day spent on a jackhammer at his in-laws.
Went home, woke up, and like Dad said, I just couldn't move my neck. I was like, you know, I was doing these ones. We get a scan. It showed that I had 2 bulging discs, and what they were doing was pinching on a nerve. And the doctors prescribed me with some painkillers.
What were those painkillers?
Oxycodone, 40 milligram.
A very powerful painkiller.
Yeah.
So you were taking more than one?
I went from 1 tablet to 2 tablets to 3 tablets to 4 a day. And then it just kept going on and on and on. It wasn't making me any higher, or it was just to get the same effect as if I was having one when I first started.
So you were building a resistance to it?
Big, massive. Like, that's why I say when I was taking 28, 40 milligram tablets a day.
And these are really powerful painkillers. This is oxycodone.
It's hillbilly heroin. It's pretty much heroin.
Tell me how many at once you'd take.
I was taking 7 in the morning, 7 at lunchtime, 7 at dinner, 7 when I was going to bed.
And this is a bloke who seemingly has it all. You know, a decorated sporting career,
Yeah.
lovely wife, great kids, great house.
Yeah.
Yet this drug.
Yeah. It just grabs you, man. It just grabs you.
Like most addicts, Matt went to great lengths to keep his addiction a secret.
Kiss him!
His wife Dallas, with daughters Indy, 7, and Star, 5, could see there was a problem, but put it down to the neck pain, and he struggled to adapt to life after footy.
I'm just thinking, oh, he's taking some pain medication. Okay, he might be taking a little bit too much, but the guy is obviously in pain. unbeknownst that, all this kind of stuff was spiralling, for him.
And did your daughters notice changes in him?
They did. The kids for me are number one. Unfortunately, if people like it or not, my kids become before my husband. And when I see them being impacted by it, that's when it really got me. And that's when I kind of put my foot down and said, if you don't fix this, you don't have a family, because my kids are important.
What does this do to families?
It disconnects people from their friends, their work, their social life, their other obligations, and certainly it disconnects them from families. People die from overdoses because it's a disease of secrets.
Addiction specialist Mark Hardy is seeing more patients than ever hooked on prescription and over-the-counter painkillers. And more often than not, they're people you'd least expect, like mother of two, Michelle Albert. Michelle injured her back doing karate. She treated herself with over-the-counter painkillers that contained codeine, which, as of February 1 this year, you now need a prescription for.
Oh, at first I was taking 2 a day, and then I got up to 4, 6, 8, and I think eventually you stop counting. And I got up to 50, 60 tablets a day.
Michelle would simply go from pharmacy to pharmacy, buying up as many pills as she could.
You would know where the pharmacies were and how many boxes you could get. So I would literally go down one side of the street and up the other side of the street, and I could easily get 7 boxes.
This went on for close to 10 years. But with the help of Dr. Hardy and an intensive treatment plan, Michelle is now off the painkillers.
There is no quick fix to this problem, and to get well is going to take time, and you need to give yourself that time. It's probably the best gift you can give yourself.
Are you an addict?
Yeah, I am. I am, and I know I am.
How hard is it to admit that?
Very. I forgot tissues. Sorry.
When you look at people who are addicted to pharmaceutical opioids, they've often never injected a drug in their life. They're either working or they're at home looking after a family, raising a family.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We are tonight's entertainment.
But prescription drugs have taken hold of plenty of high-profile people too. None bigger than our very own Heath Ledger.
One day we've got this beautiful boy that we're so proud of, and it's so lovely and so wonderful to us, and we're just enjoying his journey in life, but then he's gone,
On a cold New York night in 2008, the world lost an emerging Hollywood giant. 28-year-old Heath had taken a lethal combination of opioid painkillers, antibiotics, and sleeping pills.
Heath had so much energy. He never stopped. It's probably the best way to describe him. Just the most beautiful child, the most soulful child.
Who do you blame for Heath's death?
God forbid. Heath put them in his mouth.
Can you put a price on your dreams?
While making the movie The Imaginarium of Dr. Parnassus,
He took me to the waterfall of happiness, and I was reborn.
Heath was struggling with a chest infection and stress following the breakdown of his relationship with Michelle Williams. He also had insomnia. Doctors on both sides of the Atlantic gave him multiple prescriptions that would eventually kill him.
I just kept trying to ring Heath, and I still have his phone number in my phone today. I can't take it out. And I tried, I'm going, pick up, boy, pick up, where are you? So I couldn't get through to him.
What's it like to be here, Kim?
Kind of surreal. I feel like I'm going to pull him out of a cupboard somewhere.
Yeah.
Kim Ledger has donated many of the costumes and awards from Heath's career to the Western Australian Museum in Perth.
Yeah, that's the iconic Joker's outfit.
That is incredible.
But Kim sees another legacy just as important as his son's Hollywood career. He hopes that by highlighting Heath's tragic death, he can bring about tighter controls on prescription drugs.
So many thousands of families right across Australia that are affected by this. We lose 2 plane loads of people a year to misuse of prescription drugs. 450 plus people. More in 2013, more people than we lost on the entire road toll in Australia.
Matt Cooper's convinced he was hours away from suffering the same fate as Heath Ledger. A quiet, lonely, completely avoidable death.
You could have died.
Literally died. You know, I was a sports star. You know, I was in the media. You know, it can happen to anyone. Anyone. Doesn't matter who you are.
How close were you to leaving?
Yeah, unfortunately, really close. I just felt like Matt wasn't the person that I married, and I wasn't sure he was coming back.
The impact his addiction was having on his family eventually convinced Matt to change his ways, and he went into rehab.
It wasn't until weeks later that I kind of laid there thinking, you know, in bed thinking, I could have woken up and had a dead husband next to me and not really understood why. And that's very confronting. Thank you. Thank you.
As Matt's life slowly returns to normal, he has 2 simple words of advice for anyone going through what he went through. Tell someone.
Just tell one person, you know, and it could change your life. Mine, I told my wife.
Saved your life.
She saved my life, just from telling her.
Where would you be without this woman?
Probably living the dream somewhere in Bondi, up the Gold Coast. No.
There's the old Matt.
That's the one I'm talking about. That's what we like to see.